today than it was before devolution. To be clear. Think about that. It's not politicians, not researchers like us, not commentators like the media at the back there. It's the ordinary Mwananchi who have endorsed devolution since it came into its fore in 2013. It tells us something really important. It tells us that devolution is working. It's not working perfectly, but undeniably. And success should never breed complacency. This is why we do research. This is why companies do research, why schools do research, health institutions do research, and governments do research as well. Good research never stops at celebrating success. For us, we ask harder questions. If counties operate under the same constitution, why do some consistently outperform others? Why do some improve dramatically while others stagnate? Why do some citizens report exceptional service delivery while others remain dissatisfied? These are the conversations this report invites. Not conversations of blame, conversations of learning, of benchmarking. The CountyTrak Index is not merely a ranking exercise. And I just want to say that's one of the reasons we had partners since we started, but we disagreed with some of our partners along the way because they wanted to make it solely a ranking exercise. And so 3 years ago, we decided to agreed to disagree, and said that we didn't want it to be something that shames the person who gets ranked last, but really showcases those top 25 counties that we feel are doing well and that people can learn from. So when we released the report, I was on Sunday with Jeff Kwainange, and he asked, who's number one? Who's what? Our answer is the same. CountyTrak is not about winners and losers, it's about learning. The best performing counties have lessons worth sharing. The fastest improving counties have innovations worth copying. Every county faces challenges, has experiences worth understanding, and needs to, have a platform where these experiences can be shared. And every county contributes something to Kenya's devolution story. Around the world, successful decentralization depends on one thing. Jovin was here. We worked in Nigeria now for, Jovin, how many years? Where's Jovin? Maybe 12. We started off in 2009. And that was our first encounter with devolved governments in Africa. So we had to go to different states and do research there, meet different county governments. And I must say, you are so normal, because Jovin knows how the county government or the states in Nigeria are. They're very flashy. And that was one of the things that really, shocked us when we were there. But really, successful decentralization depends on one thing: accountability. Accountability only begins with information. Citizens cannot demand better services if they do not know how performance compares. You as county governments cannot improve if you do not measure. Development partners, and I know GIZ representing the donor working group that deals with devolution is here. They cannot invest intelligently without credible evidence. Our tool as the CountyTrak Index exists to bridge this gap. So the message to you as county governments who are represented here today is that this report is not a report card to be feared. A lot of you, when I sent you invitation cards, kept calling and saying, what number am I? What number is the county? Have I dropped? And those who have dropped said, then why should I come? Am I in the top 10? If I'm not in the top 10, if I'm in the top 20, I will wait for all those people to be called and then get my certificate. But that's really not why we are here. We're here really to learn from each other. It is a management tool to be embraced. The counties leading today may certainly not be leading tomorrow, as you'll see from the report. Those facing challenges today can become tomorrow's success stories. We'll also see those. Performance is never permanent, neither is underperformance. Our hope is very simple, that CountyTrak becomes more than an annual publication. We hope it becomes a planning tool, a budgeting tool, a monitoring tool, a policy tool, and ultimately a decision-making tool. And guess where I got that sentence from? I got it from Governor Wycliffe Oparanya, who used our tool for the 2 terms that he was there annually, and made us actually do a comparative evaluation for him year on year, using it for budgeting, using it for planning, and all those things that I mentioned. Actually, some of the county governments sitting here, because listening to citizens is not a political exercise. It should be good governance. A word about our research. Media. Research is often misunderstood. Some people think that research exists to criticize government. That's not what it is. Others think research exists to praise government. Neither is true. Research exists primarily to illuminate. Where citizens see progress, we report progress. Where Kenyans identify shortcomings, we will report those too. That consistency is what gives research credibility. Now allow me to express my gratitude, first and foremost, to the 87,286 Kenyans who generously shared their experience. Unlike the developed world, we do not pay our respondents to participate in surveys. They do so willingly. So I think it would be proof on us to clap for those people who take time to give you feedback. To our field teams, you saw some of them here. Kevin, who worked single-handedly on this report. Are you a statistician or an actuarial scientist? Huh?
We actuaries can do many things.
Okay.
We actuaries can do many things.
You actuaries, but clever, you can do everything. He's an actuarial scientist. But he worked on the data you're going to see. The analysts, the quality assurance teams, whose professionalism made this study possible. We fund this study as CountyTrak. So every one of those people you saw introducing themselves here is the boss of this report, as are the 87,286 Kenyans. Judy, I hope you're listening, because like most Kenyans, even though we want hegemony, we also understand that we need to be handheld by development partners. Thank you. To our partners, stakeholders who continue to believe that evidence should shape governance, thank you. And most importantly to you, the county governments that have chosen to engage with evidence constructively. That willingness to learn is ultimately there because it improves people's lives. Ladies and gentlemen, I used to write a column. And I remember when in 2010, when the Constitution was promulgated, I was so excited. I tried to look for that particular article because I think it was like a dream. I was writing like I was dreaming. I was so excited about what Kenya was going to be and how things were going to change. But I think it behooves on me to say history will remember devolution as one of Kenya's greatest governance experiments. Whether it ultimately fulfills its promise, because we've had people say, do we need 47? Should we reduce them to 30? Should we have them, less? I think whether that happens or not, we all know and we can see that devolution is working. And whether it's working and it fulfills its promise will depend on how much money, not on how much money counties receive, but on how wisely you use evidence for impact. Because good governance begins by listening. Listening creates understanding. Understanding leads to better decisions. Better decisions improve lives. And that is really why we launched this CountyTrak Index in 2014. Not simply to measure performance, but to improve it and to improve the lives of Kenyans. Not merely to rank counties, but to strengthen devolution. Not only to collect opinions, but to ensure that every Kenyan's voice contributes to building a better county and ultimately a stronger republic. It is therefore my distinct honor and privilege to welcome you to the launch of the CountyTrak Performance Index 2026. May it strengthen accountability, may it encourage healthy competition, may it inspire continuous improvement, and may it truly contribute to a Kenya where every county, including the ones who are not here today, all the 47 counties succeed because the evolution realized and knew that every citizen matters. Thank you. God bless you all. And because maybe one day when I was in standard one, I wanted to be president, so allow me to use this sentence. And God bless the Republic of Kenya. It is now my sincere and heartfelt duty and honor to invite the Deputy Chair of COG, who has come in from the UK. We spoke yesterday when he was in London, and I thank him most sincerely for making it today. A friend, Governor of Tharaka Nithi, Honorable Musoki Njuki. Karibu sana. Mudomi Njuki. Haki sisi ni Wajaluo. I'm not speaking after. Forgive me.
Thank you. Angela spilled the beans already. I was telling my constituents I'm just around. I'll be telling them I woke up in London yesterday. But it's okay. I formed another day. So my colleague governors, the governors who were here today, and I know with a lot of appreciation, but they have come from very far and wide in this function today, except the governor of Moranga, who just came from around the corner. The national government and the county government representatives who are here, our PCs, our CEOs, our chief of staffs. So yeah, I almost forgot our very able deputy governors of Kenya who are here. Our partners, InfoTrack team, civil society, for the state, who are in big numbers, and ladies and gentlemen, the number I'm wearing is making this microphone behave like that. Is there a problem?
The microphone there, I think.
I'm no more. Angela, you need to give me back that thing you're wearing. Whatever it is. If it's in the heart, maybe you can be part of the heart. But this thing is rebellion. Good morning.
Morning.
I always like saying God is good
It's the time.
all the time.
God is good. God is doing inshallah.
Thank you. Even to this morning when we came here, especially those who are in position of responsibility, who are normally engaged by the citizens. First and foremost, before I make the remarks that have just been handed over to me this morning to represent my chair of Council of Governors, who is usually first among the equals who are here, I want to congratulate or say pongezi to InfoTrack.
So to be found.
Have you seen something?
Yes.
Oh, the two microphones. Yeah.
Or is it this thing?
This one on.
Okay, thank you. That's better. In the case it's a small room, we can hear each other. So I'm saying pongezi to InfoTrack and specifically to the CEO, who has been very daring because I've had a story of where she was working before And within very few years, now for polls, everybody knows CountyTrak. It is so popular to the extent that some politicians usually use your logo to make fake polls and popularize themselves. That is how you tell whether you're succeeding. It's good to know you're succeeding because that is what is happening. Secondly, I would like to clarify on something that Angela said about both units in the world. Many a times people compare Kenyan both units with those of Nigeria and those of America because they're all called governors. I know we normally ask what's in a name, but here is one where the same name do not mean the same thing. Because in the United States and in Nigeria, the governors are in charge of states. Well, in Kenya, the counties, the governors are in charge of county. You may ask what will be different because I heard Angela saying that the governors in Nigeria are very flashy. I agree. One time I went to Nigeria and every governor had those jammers that are usually on top of the vehicle to jam the network when they're somewhere. You can't do that in Kenya. You can't even survive 3 minutes doing it. And they have massive resources. The difference is this. In states and in Nigeria, the states collect all the revenues, all the resources. VAT, there's yuan, fuel levy, agriculture related ones like coffee and tea levy, and then they remit a percentage to the national government, which in states I think it's called federal government. But in Kenya, the national government picks all the taxes except what is called in local language, the Kajo levies. You know, market fee, the one Mama Mboga usually pays at the entrance of the market and the transporter for some space. That is all what the county collects. They're called also the revenue. Everything else comes the national government. Then it goes through a process where now the county governments are usually just waiting and praying that they'll get something, depending on the formula that is passed by very many levels, including Commission on Revenue Allocation and National Assembly and the Senate. So they are not the same. So yes, we are governors, I agree. And I am saying that this because Angela stated at the inception of devolution, the thought was that the focus will now be on the county because that is where the resources are supposed to be. We got 14 devolved units, or 14 devolved functions, sorry, not units, 14 devolved functions. But I want to tell you today, even before I make the chairman remark to those 14 devolved units, some of them are just devolved on paper. The functions, sorry, most of those functions, the 14 of them, most of them are just devolved on paper. But in reality, it is a different story. That is why you will still find a ministry in Kenya carrying out a devolved function, and when the budgets are read, one ministry has a budget that is more than all the 47 counties combined together in the same function. That happens in Kenya. So I think it will take a bit of time because even America, it took a bit of time for people to accept devolution. And now the states normally remain to the federal government. We are looking forward to that time when the national government will let go of what is devolved and let counties be able to lead, have the leads in implementing the projects in those 14 devolved units. Allow me to say that it is a great honor to be here this morning to join you at the launch of the 11th CountyTrak Performance Index 2026, an initiative that has, over the years, become one of the country's most respected citizen-led assessment on county performance. Our constitution is people-centered, establishing a vibrant social contract between the citizens and the state, and consequently good governance, exemplary leadership, and quality service delivery become the benchmark for which the people hold their leaders accountable. The CountyTrak should not only be an opportunity for us to receive feedback from our respective constituents, but it should also serve as a trigger to take more focused and responsive action on the devolved sectors. This year's theme, Devolution of 13, celebrating championing citizen voice, is both timely and appropriate. Although I wonder why it is not 14. Maybe 2013, it's 14 years, isn't it? 13 years after the first county government assumed office, devolution remains one of Kenya's most transformative transformational reforms. It has fundamentally changed how public services are planned, financed, and delivered. Today, we examine the progress made in the county, specifically on service delivery. We enter the final year of the third cycle of county government in recognition of the resilience demonstrated by the county government in responding to emerging challenges, including climate change, public health, emergencies, economic shocks, rapid urbanization, and increasing demands for the county public service. Indeed, the success of devolution cannot be measured by budgets spent or projects that are completed. Ultimately, service delivery must be measured through the lens of the beneficiaries, and that is Mwananchi himself or herself. And these beneficiaries, of course, they are the ones who receive the services, and ultimately, service delivery will be seen in their happiness index. Because one way of proving, I'm told that the taste of the pudding is in the eating. If the Mwananchi is not happy, you cannot measure the productivity by the big structures, including infrastructure that are in their neighborhood. They must be happy. And that happiness, of course, sometimes is expressed by an opinion like this or the research that has been carried out. If they're not happy, you will not be having any number one because they will all tell you they're not happy. The CountyTrak Performance Index 2026 is a wake-up call that county intervention should respond to citizens' priorities, improve livelihoods, and inspire public confidence. As governors, we welcome constructive feedback because it enables us to learn, improve, and re-engineer our operations. Performance assessment should never be viewed as competition. Rather, it should encourage peer learning, sharing of best practice, and continuous improvement across all counties. Ladies and gentlemen, citizen engagement must remain at the center of county government. Public participation is not simply a constitutional obligation. It is an essential pillar of responsive leadership. When citizens participate meaningfully in identifying priorities, monitoring implementation, and evaluating outcomes, governments become more transparent, accountable, and effective. The Constitution of Kenya envisioned a system of governance where citizens are not passive recipients of services, but active participants in shaping development priorities. County governments were established to promote democracy and accountability and exercise of power. They also foster national unity while recognizing diversity. And they also ensure the sharing of resources and also facilitate decentralization of state services, the real reason why devolution was put in place. The participation of our county constituencies in decision making is before to evidence. It is based on governance and delivery of services, and when we place citizens at the driver's seat of development and bolster that with use of data, as has been done by CountyTrak, we are able to entrench credible performance and management frameworks. As I conclude, the Council of Governors remains committed to working closely with national government, development partners, the private sector, civil society, and citizens to strengthen the devolution agenda. Our collective responsibility is to ensure that every Kenyan, regardless of where they live, enjoys suitable access to quality public service. To all the governors, even those who are not here in this room, and the counties that they represent that are being recognized today, I extend my warm congratulations. These awards acknowledge dedication, innovation, and commitment to serving the people. They should inspire to sustain high standards of leadership and service delivery. Equally, I encourage those counties that may not feature among today's top performers not to view the findings as criticism, but as an opportunity for the reflection, learning, and improvement. The greatest strength of devolution lies in our willingness to learn from one another and continuously raise the standards of governance across the country. As we look to the future, our collective vision should be to improve the lives of every Kenyan. The true measure of success is not the position a county occupies in an index, but the confidence that citizens have in the constitution and the tangible improvement they experience in healthcare, education, water, infrastructure, agriculture, economic activities, and social well-being. It is to mean that it's not really the ranking, as Angela has put it, that really says which county is doing better. County could be number one, but a county which is the bottom has gotten a little more benefits to the Mwananchi, but depending on how the Mwananchi feels, it may be an issue. Angela, if you put all the best performers in one room and rank them, you'll still get a last one. If you put the poorest of all in that room and rank them, you still get number one. And therefore, no county should be judged by what position they occupy in the index. Finally, I would wish to thank the Research and Consulting Limited for sustaining this important national conversation on accountability and performance. Let us continue to champion citizen voices, celebrate excellence, embrace continuous improvement, and work together towards a stronger, more accountable, and more prosperous system of government. God bless you all. God bless all the 47 counties. God bless Kenya. And outside this, allow me, the CountyTrak, to thank you for recognizing that counties are distinct. I started seeing this poll about 1 month ago, when you brought all the parliamentarians, that is, sent to the National Assembly and ranked them. I think the day before you had ranked the candidates who are running for presidency. But you reserve the best for the last. You know, 24th unit, and you've given us our day. And I want to tell you thank you for recognizing that we have 48 governments in Kenya. There are 47 county governments and 1 national government. And the impact is supposed to be in the 47, not in the 48. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Please, another round of applause for that. So the moment is here. The moment has arrived. We want to invite Angela to release the index. But as we do so, please allow me to recognize additional organizations. We have ECD Networks for Kenya, Bunge Mashinani, we have AFRICOG, and we have Oduro Mwen, ED, ODM, and we have Dr. Philip Kisia, also is a great partner for InfoTrack. Feel most welcome, the organizations that have just arrived. So Angela, please come on stage so that we can know the index.
Thank you very much. The protocols of research dictate that I have to share with you the methodology, at least in some more detail than what I mentioned before. So allow me to do so. If you could put on the methodology page, so that you see the sample and the margins of error for each the county. Yeah, just go to the sampling page. So as I've mentioned, we did this study between January and May 2026. Between January and March, we actually conducted the county performance index study. But because we take cognizance of the fact that the elected leaders are very interested in their own performance, we also boosted the samples between April and May to include a boost sample for the elected leaders. That is what gives us the total number of 87,000. But for the index itself, we have a sample of 36,200, and it is actually allocated the way you see it there. It is allocated using cluster sampling. So that means that each and every of the 47 counties, and Governor, you mentioned that we have 47 governments, we treated them exactly like that. That we, as we do when we're doing a nationwide survey, you see that each county has its respective sample. All the way from 2,000 interviews for Nairobi, for it's 85 wards and 17 constituencies, is it? And also all the way to Tharaka-Nithi, your own county, where we had a cluster sample of 600. I think we're very proud to show you that the margins of error are very, very comfortable, from ±2 to ±4. And what really informs the sample is the number of administrative units. That is the constituencies within the county and the wards. And whether indeed the small n sample that we use for the wards is actually comfortable enough for Kevin and I to do analysis up till the ward level. For those of you who have seen our reports, you see that we granulated for each and every index up to the ward level. But that is how that sample for this particular study or this section of the study was, granulated. All these samples were then informed and guided by two statistics, or two, let me call them Bibles. The census guides us on adult population figures, and that is really what we use to then prorate our sample. The IBC voter register guides us on the ward level population distribution. Why? Because we have not yet from the census gotten that disaggregated information on wards from the census data. So we rely on IBC data to actually aggregate that sample up to the ward level. So we use those two to then guide us. The functions that we have looked at are, the ones that have been mentioned by Governor already, all the way from agriculture. We know that some of these functions are more pivotal than others, but what we agreed on when we started off is because the Constitution envisioned that all these indicators were equally important, we were not going to give any of these indicators or functions more weight than others. We actually allocate the same kind of weight for all the functions equally. And then when we sit with county governments and they want us to attribute certain weighting for their own county, reports, then we can do those weighting, assign weightings, so that maybe agriculture is perceived to be more important than dealing with, the burial of animals, etc., which I know most of you normally look at and say, but that is a peripheral, function, as much as it's enshrined in the Constitution. Let me start off again by just showing you the status of devolution and the dividend it has yielded. 2015, the very first one we did, 68% said devolution has made things better. Things are better in their counties where they live than they were before. But look at how it has grown then in 2026, thanks to the efforts of the leaders and county, governors who are here. 75% of Kenyans actually say it is better than before. And again, I think it deserves a clap. There are counties, obviously, that feel very elated with devolution compared to others, but majority in all the counties say devolution has made life better than before. So Gladys, your residents love devolution. 88% said better than before in Homa Bay, 89% in Kisumu, 87% said that in Kiambu, 85% in Murang'a. In Trans Nzoia, we had 84%. Elgeyo Marakwet, we had 84%. Nyeri, 83% recognized devolution. Tharaka Nithi, 83%. Makueni, 83%. Kirinyaga, 82%. Very high levels. Migori, 79%. Siaya, my own county, 79%. Kilifi, 79%. Goodness, it is high across the board. So anyone who says that devolution is not critical is lying to us, because the citizenry says otherwise. Are you doing better than your predecessors, or better than you did the first time you were there? Because then we ask, is there a dividend that is growing in terms of trend? We see that in 2026, whether it be a function of how funding is being expedited to the counties, or whether it be other functions or factors, we see that 50% say it is better. The county government today is better than the previous one, but there are 37% of Kenyans who are also saying consolidatedly that, things are worse than they were previously. I think it's also because expectations are high. Expectations from county governments are extremely high. And so when things are not married with those expectations, then you are not surprised when you see people saying that, no, things are not as good as they used to be. And some people, 14% this year, said things are more or less the same as before. But if you do comparisons, then you see where the comparison is better. Some of you are seated here. You see Murang'a, Kiambu, Homa Bay, Kirinyaga, Tharaka Nithi, Nyeri, etc. Things are better in your county than they were in the previous time. How are the functions performing in its consolidated form across the county? If we look at the core 12 functions, what we did in consultation with not this cycle of governors, but the ones right before the elections, is we were asked to consolidate some functions and put them together. And so that is what we did to make them, instead of having the 14 devolved, we now have 12 devolved functions. I think we put the burial of animals under environment. Rafael.
Yes, yes.
So that one was put under environment. Dealing with drugs and alcohol was put also, I think, under health, if I'm not wrong. So then we have then 12 instead of 14. But which function across the board got the highest rating? Education. The ECD and the TVETs and the giving out of bursaries is really been appreciated and got an average rating of 50 across the various counties. So that is the mean rating for education. Environment and natural resources came second with 47.9. And then we have energy, and that's really green energy, and then, making energy accessible to the communities in the counties. That got 44.6. Agriculture, a very core function, was given a mean rating of 44. And then social services and dealing with the vulnerable groups got 43.4. Culture and sports, 43.3. But I think what is instructive here, and we should take note of, are the ones that the constituents tell us are very critical to them, or county residents tell us are very critical to them. Of course, there's education, we see education there. There's food, so agriculture, but look at roads and transport. So infrastructure is at number 6 with 43.3 mean. Then we see water management at 42.7, and we see trade and tourism is at number 9, but look at where health is and access to affordable and good quality health. It was the function that got the lowest mean rating at 42.5. Has it been, I'm hearing people say, Sha, Sha. Has it been like that always? Well, education has been the top function from 20, we just put 20 because so we didn't want to crowd the report, but if you want to see from 2015, that is accessible. So 2023, 2024, education was number 1. Environment has moved up, it was number 4 in 2023. Energy has moved from number 6 to number 3. Agriculture was actually the second best performing function in 2023. It's gone to 4th, both in 2024 and 2026. The social services moved from number 10 to number 5. So youth, women, persons with disabilities, the old and vulnerable, populations. We see where culture and sports is. I just want to focus. I won't look at all of them because I think you're also seeing them there. But we can see that health has moved from number 6 to number 8 to number 12. That's a year mwamuzi ni wenu. It needs some attention because a healthy nation is a vibrant nation. So without much ado, allow me to go into the functions. Our thinking is that as we talk about the functions, we also just give the award in one fell swoop. Is that okay? Governors, is that okay with you? Ama tufanyaje?
Yes.
Sasa tunaenda kwa functions. Should we just do everything in one fell swoop? We're reporting the functions and how the performance was in the functions, and then we can give the certificate of recognition then at the end. Yeah, I can't guide it. Yeah, that is what Jovet had planned in his program. Me, I was thinking about it. I agree. I'm obedient. So agriculture. These are the top counties. Remember the mean score. The mean score is at the top there. This TV in Mendao. Night TV here in Mendao.
The system.
Power. Lot. We need power. Now we understand the power.
See. You need to convince me. Tell them about it. I don't know my friends.
So I read. I'm gonna find that. To read without any need.
Sijui mbona check. Check your side. Check your side back for them. exercise campaigns. Not us. Told them about it. But tell Ajay. There.
Ama we try another laptop.
Yeah, sure.
We try another laptop. If it's yours, ama ujaribu na ama uweke direct kwanza. Try another laptop. That could be the issue.
You fair. But it should pick stuff automatically. Yeah. Venye nimeblink hivi isha connect kwa hii kitu. So it's you guys. Their screens. It's not us. Nini yao sasa? Restart the instrument. The receiver. Nataka ku-restart.
Okay, start.
The restarting.
Put some music on the
But
background.
music will it place? It
Hata
keyboard is
music
still.
haisi.
Yeah. The whole system was down.
Just remind them it's hotel system.
Jovin, chukua ile mic ingine useme it's a hotel system wanaisort. The bear with us. Where's the other mic? Ile pale kwa rafu. Na rafu pale.
Wanajua.
No, just say if yani ndio they're not just sitting quiet. Waambie tu hivyo ukiongelesha waambie you're coming back. To maintain something. And it was working so well. It will go What's your power to the screen down?
Yeah, utumie HDMI ile. Connector.
Hata sio connector.
Ama kijaribu.
It's this thing. It's a cable from here to the TV. So not even another laptop won't change it. Yeah, I can print this on the laptop, so just out.
Great.
You need to do crowd control.
Making food more accessible and affordable to you and your family, making it easy for farmers to rear and sell their livestock or fish, proper management of livestock, diseases and disposal of dead animals. So that's where we put that under agriculture. And the top performing county in agriculture, the top 5 are Trans Nzoia at 60%, Murang'a at 56, Kiambu 55, Uasin Gishu at 54, and Elgeyo Marakwet at 53%. Those are the top 25 counties. So other than Elgeyo Marakwet, we have these, let me use right English. These are now the top 25 counties. That is how the report is released. We emphasize the top 5, but then we also only release the top 25. Where there are ties, it may be more than 25 counties, as you will see. So number 6, we have Kericho, Tharaka Nithi, Homa Bay at 51. We can clap for them because they're clear. Then number 9, because of the tie, we move to number 9, where we have Nandi and Bungoma in agriculture. Then number 11 is West Pokot at 49. We can also clap. Then we have Kisii, Embu, Nakuru, Samburu, Baringo, Narok, all the way to Nyeri. We have those at the top 25 counties, with Nyeri tying with Vihiga, Kwale, Bomet at 44%. If we look at the trends, then you can see them there. I'm going to go a little fast, but Trans Nzoia has been number 1, 2024, and again now, number 3, 2023. Murang'a moved from 8 to number 2, and then we have Kiambu that has really significantly improved from number 27 to number 3. We have Uasin Gishu, they were number 1 before, now they're number 4, and we have Elgeyo Marakwet. We're just, concentrating there on the top 5. Who are the most improved counties? Embu from 32 to 13, Nandi from 26 to 9, Kericho 19 to 6, Garissa from 44 to 33, and Siaya County in agriculture last time was number 47 and now is at number 37, moving 10 points. So we can clap for those. Yes, also for those who are moving. If we look at the regions, which region has really enjoyed or has citizens who are happy with agriculture? In 2020, it was Nyanza. Then in 2023, Nyanza moved to 4th, and it was Rift Valley that was really happy with agriculture. Last year, or the year before, it was Central and Rift at 47 and 45. And this time we see that consolidatedly, Central is where the highest mean index has accrued, with 49%, followed by Rift Valley and then Western. Nyanza is 4th, and we can see that Nairobi throughout has been at, the challenge one. But that is also because of the way our agriculture is treated. We had been asked before whether we should actually rate Nairobi when it comes to agriculture. And when we looked at the CIDPs, we had seen that there was indeed a department and a team that deals with agriculture even in our host county. The top 3 counties in agriculture by region, I'll mention coast. We have Kwale, Lamu, and Taita Taveta. Those are the top 3 counties in agriculture. Please. And then we have in northeastern Garissa with 41, Mandera and Wajir with 36 respectively. We have frontier counties. In eastern, it is Tharaka Nithi that is top with 51%. Then Embu with 47 and Makueni with 46. In central, Murang'a with 56, Kiambu with 55, and Kirinyaga with 46. Those are the top 3. And in Rift Valley, it's Trans Nzoia, as we have seen before, Uasin Gishu and Elgeyo Marakwet. In Western, the top counties are Bungoma, Kakamega, and Vihiga, with Bungoma at 50, 45, and 44 for Vihiga. Then in Nyanza, the top county in agriculture is Homa Bay with 51, then Kisii with 48, and Kisumu with 45. Congratulations. If we look at health, let me focus on the indicators. How would you rate your county government on a scale of 1 to 10 in making affordable medical treatment for you and your family, giving affordable medical treatment to you and your family when you need it, dealing with your health concerns to your satisfaction, provision of adequate sanitation facilities such as skilled latrines, public toilets in your area, ensuring that the health facilities in your area are well equipped with personnel, equipment, and medicine, and providing you with adequate information, which is public health, on how to stay healthy and avoid diseases. So a lot of indicators there. The top 5 counties, number 1 was Murang'a with 56%. Elgeyo Marakwet was number 2 with 50%, tying with West Pokot. And then Kiambu was number 4 with 49%, tying with Tharaka Nithi. Those are the top 5 counties. If we look at the top 25 counties, then after Tharaka Nithi, we have number 6. So there's no number 5. So the 6 counties are Kisii and Homa Bay with 48. And then we have Trans Nzoia at 47, Kericho, Uasin Gishu, Makueni, and Kisumu tie at 46. And they are number 9. And then number 13 is Nandi and Samburu. We can see that we have Garissa there, also Frontier County with 44 at number 15, tying with Bomet, Kwale, Kilifi. And then we have number 19, Machakos. We have Mombasa County, please clap for them. At 43, we have Migori County. And then we have a tie for number 22 between Embu, Nyandarua, Narok, Bungoma, and Nyeri at 42%. Murang'a, you started off in 2023 with position 8, then moved to position 2 in 2024, and currently you're at position 1 in health. Elgeyo Marakwet was number 6 and currently is number 2. West Pokot was number 1 and currently is still staying strong at number 2. And Kiambu moved significantly from number 28 to number 4. And then Tharaka Nithi has been oscillating between number 3 and 4. Only in 2024 were you at number 7, so you've improved significantly and back to number 4. The most improved counties are Nandi, Garissa, Kericho, Machakos, and Wajir, and you can see just what strides they have made between 29 and 18 positions gained. Which counties have performed best in health? Regions. In 2020, it was Western with 54, tying with Eastern. In 2023, health accrued the best index from Rift Valley and Central at 50% respectively. It did not change in 2024. Central was still accruing the highest at 46, but you see Nyanza with 45. And then this year, we see that it is Central again with 46, followed by Rift Valley, and then Nyanza at 43. The most dissatisfied region with regards to health this particular cycle is Western with 39% as a mean index. The top counties by region at the coast with regards to health, we have Kilifi, Kwale, and Mombasa. Those are the top counties in health. In Northeastern, it's Garissa, then followed by Wajir and Mandera. In Eastern, the top county is Tharaka Nithi, followed by Makueni and Machakos. In Central, the top county is Murang'a, followed by Kiambu, and then Nyandarua and Nyeri are number 3. Then Rift Valley, we have Elgeyo Marakwet, we have West Pokot tying in number 1 position, and Trans Nzoia number 3. In Western, we have Bungoma, we have Vihiga, and we have Kakamega, with 42, 40, and 39 respectively. In Nyanza, the best county in health is Homa Bay, tying with Kisii, and then Kisumu closely follows. Education, we have 3 main indicators that we look at there. How would you rate your county government in having enough ECD centers with good facilities and teachers on a scale of 1 to 10? How would you gauge your county government in ensuring there are enough village polytechnics, TVET, and county technical institutions? And how would you gauge your county government in fair issuance of bursaries to needy, vulnerable, and gifted children? There, Kiambu was number 1, and they tied with Murang'a, 61. Then number 3 was Trans Nzoia, tying with Elgeyo Marakwet, and we see a new name, Taita Taveta, was number 5 with 56%. The mean score there was 50%. All these were above the mean score. And if we look then at the top 25 counties, you see that after Taita Taveta, we have Makueni at number 6, tying with Kwale, Nandi and West of Pokot tie at number 8. Kisii and Kericho are also in number 8 with Uasin Gishu. And then Tharaka-Nithi has 53 with Homa Bay and tie at 13 with Nyeri and Samburu. At 17, we have Kisumu and Embu. And then we have Baringo tying with Kirinyaga, Mombasa, Kitui, and Machakos at 51. And Kilifi, Nakuru, and Bungoma and Bomet tie at number 24. Those are the top 25 counties. The most improved counties in education, we can see there, Nandi, we see Machakos, we see Kericho, we see Kajiado, and we see Garissa. I think the beauty about what you see here is you see different counties coming in there, as both Governor Njuki had mentioned, and I mentioned in my earlier remarks, that everybody has something to offer. And indeed, those that did well last time sometimes stay on, but sometimes also we see some others significantly improving, showing that, performance is not static. Where has education been, best appreciated by the regions? In 2020, education was given an index, a consolidated index of 58 in Western, followed by 53 at the coast. In 2023, it changed. Central gave the highest index for education at 58, followed by Rift Valley. Western moved to 4th. Nyanza was 5th with 55%. And then in 2024, we saw that Central and Nyanza had the highest mean scores for education. And right now in 2026, we see that Central and Rift have the highest scores at 54 and 51 respectively, tying with Coast, and then Nyanza is 3rd with 50. We do see that, again, there are counties or regions that are facing challenges, and we can see those there. The top counties by region in education is changed a little bit. Taita Taveta is top at the coast, followed by Kwale, but we also have Mombasa at number 3. Then northeastern, we have Garissa and Mandera tying, and we then also have Wajir at 45%. That's the mean index. And then eastern, we have Makueni, we have Tharaka-Nithi and Embu. In central, Kiambu, Murang'a tie in education with 61, significantly high. And then we have Nyeri at number 3 with 53. Rift Valley, it's Elgeyo Marakwet and Trans Nzoia tying at 57. Then we have Kericho County tying with Nandi, Uasin Gishu, and West Pokot at 54. So there's only number 1 and 3. In Western, it's Bungoma that's top, and then Kakamega with 49 and Vihiga at 49 as well. In Nyanza, Kisii has 54, it's the top county in education, but very closely followed by both Homa Bay and Kisumu at 53 and 52 respectively. Roads, and we have an expert in roads here, Engineer Kerry Orege. Using a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is extremely poor and 10 is excellent, under the roads and transport function, how would you rate your county government's performance index in 1, improving and maintaining road networks, whether they're new, whether it's grading, whether it's providing culverts and bridges in your county? 2, how would you rate your county government in ensuring that, there's proper management of traffic and parking in your town centers, and that they ensure that the public transport is well organized, particularly in the areas that are more urban and market centers, the matatus, bus parks, border borders, etc. And then installing and maintaining street lighting in the urban and market centers. Top county, Murang'a, followed by Kiambu. Number 3 is Kisii. Uasin Gishu is number 4, and so is Mombasa in roads and transport. They tie at 49%. The mean score is 43.3. We can clap. Roads and transport, top 25 counties, we've seen up to Uasin Gishu. Number 6 is Homa Bay, tying with Nyeri at 48. Number 8 is Elgeyo Marakwet with 47, tying with Trans Nzoia. Then number 10, we have Kericho, Kilifi, Kirinyaga, Kisumu, Lamu, Nairobi, Tharaka Nithi, West Pokot. Very many counties tied number 10, meaning that the next rank was number 19, where Embu Makueni tied at 45%, and Kwale was number 21, then Garissa, Kitui, Migori, and Samburu were number 22 with 43%. Most improved counties in roads is Nairobi, which has moved 26 ranks, Garissa, Mombasa, which has moved from number 17 to number 4. I see the Mombasa people here. I think I saw Noah color here somewhere. Let's clap. And Kajiado has also moved from number 43 to 31, Kericho from 21 to 10, and Tharaka Nithi, last time you were number 21, now you're number 10, significant improvement for that. What was the roads index by regions? In 2020, Nairobi approved the highest index, 59. The lowest was for Northeastern. In 2023, Central gave the highest index for roads, followed by Nairobi. Northeastern were not very happy with the improvements or the strides made, comparatively, that is. And then in 2024, we see it's still Central. And this time round, we saw Nyanza coming in as the second, happiest region with roads at 46%, followed by Nairobi at 44%. And currently we have Central, then Nairobi, and then we have Coast with 44%, tying with Nyanza at 44%. The most dissatisfied region when it comes to roads this current year is Western, where roads and transport was given 40%. Philip, I don't know whether that says something or resonates with you. Okay. I see this taking notes. What are the top counties by region? Coast, number 1 county in roads and transport is Mombasa with 49. Then we have a tie between Kilifi and Lamu in number 2. And then we also have a tie with Taita Taveta. So number 2 has 3, counties. In Northeastern, we have Garissa, and then we have Wajir and Mandera at 43, 40, and 39 respectively. In Eastern, the top county in roads function is Tharaka Nithi with 46, then Embu and Makueni are at 45. Central, it is Murang'a with 54, Kiambu with 52, and then Nyeri with 48. And then Rift Valley, we have Uasin Gishu, Elgeyo Marakwet, tying with Trans Nzoia at 47% respectively. In Bungoma, we have 42 for Bungoma. In Western, Bungoma is 42, number 1. Kakamega and Vihiga tie at, number 2 position. And then in Nyanza, we have Kisii with 51, then Homa Bay with 48, and Kisumu, number 3 with 46. Under energy, which is another function, there were only 2 indicators. How would you rate your county government in giving you access to affordable energy for lighting and cooking, whether that energy is electricity, gas, or kerosene? And secondly, promoting clean energy sources such as wind, solar, and biogas. So we gave them those examples. Number 1 county in energy was Kiambu with 56. That was followed by Murang'a County, 54. Number 2. Nyeri was number 3 with 51. We clap for Nyeri. Mombasa was number 4 with 50, tying with Kirinyaga. They're both here. And then Trans Nzoia was number 4 as well with 50%. The others in the top 25, other than the ones mentioned, are the counties that you see there. We also have at number 9, we have Kericho, we have Kisumu, we have Taita Taveta, we have Tharaka Nithi. And then number 13, we have Embu, and number 14, we have Homa Bay and Kajiado, Kilifi, Lamu, and Nakuru. Number 19, we have Bungoma, we have Elgeyo Marakwet, we have Nairobi City County, and we have Vihiga. And then number 23, which brings us to the top 25, are many counties that were given 44%. That's Bomet, Kwale, Machakos, Makueni, Meru, Nandi, Samburu, and West Pokot. The most improved counties are Kajiado, we have Nandi, we have Embu, we have Garissa, we have Kericho, and we have Meru, and you can see the gains that they have made on the screen in front of you. What were the regional indices, mean indices for energy across the last 4 select years? 2020, Western was the happiest with energy at 50%, followed by Nairobi and Nyanza at 49%. It changed. In 2023, it was Central, a jump from 50, we moved to 54. Rift Valley at 50, tying with Eastern at 50. Nyanza was now 5th. Western was now 4th with 49. And Nairobi was 8th with 46. In 2024, we see Central giving the highest score for energy again at 49, followed by Nairobi this time around. It's come back at 47, Nyanza at 46, and Coast at 45. The unhappiest or most dissatisfied county with energy then was, or not county, region is Northeastern with 39. And then in this particular year, 51% was given by the central residents, followed by 46 by Coast, then 45 by Nairobi, and 45 by Nyanza. And again, we see that Northeastern wants more to be done with energy, as indicated by the 39% score. That is the mean for energy. The top counties by region for this particular function, number 1 at the coast for energy is Mombasa, followed by Taita Taveta, and then Kilifi and Lamu are number 3. They tie there. And then in Northeastern, it is Garissa, Mandera, and Wajir, respectively at 43, 37, and 36. Then in Eastern, the top county is Tharaka Nithi, followed by Embu, and then Machakos, Makueni, and Meru tie. Then we have in Central, Kiambu with 56, that's the top county. Then Murang'a, 54, and Nyeri, 51. Those are the top 3 counties in Central. Rift Valley, we have Trans Nzoia, we have Uasin Gishu, we have Kericho. Those are the 3 counties, 50, 49, 48. And then Western, we have Bungoma with 45, tying with Vihiga, and Kakamega at 41. In Nyanza, it is Kisii with 49, Kisumu with 48, and Homa Bay with 46. Under trade and tourism, we have 6 indicators. How would you rate your county government in developing markets to increase trade, in making the issuance of trade licenses simple, for simplifying issuance of trade licenses, in attracting investments through investment conferences in your county, lowering the cost of doing business through taxation, levies, incentives, etc., and then promoting cooperatives and SACCOs for access to finance, and promoting local tourism through hotels, resorts, and tourism sites. Those are the indicators. The top performing counties in trade and tourism was Murang'a, 51%, followed by number 2, Kisii, 49, Kiambu, 49. So there's a tie. And then Homa Bay was number 4 with 48. Tharaka Nithi and Trans Nzoia were number 5 with 47% respectively. You can see on the screen there the counties that follow. I will mention the ones that I see close to me here. Nyeri, you're there. I see also Trans Nzoia, I think I've mentioned. Kirinyaga is number 9. We also have Mombasa. We see they're also number 9. And we then also see, at the number 22, we have Embu, Kajiado, Migori, Nandi, and Samburu. But all these counties were in the top 25. The most improved counties we see there: Kericho, Nandi, Garissa, Nairobi, and Kajiado. In 2020, we see a trend, and this is normally as a function of citizens from specific counties being very satisfied either with one county or across various counties within a region. So we can see that in 2020, the Western counties were particularly, high with regards to a number of indices that we have seen. So here we see 51% for trade and tourism for Western and 49 for Rift Valley, then Eastern. It changes in 2023. We see Rift Valley, Central, and Coast coming up. And has that changed? Yes, in 2024, we had Central, Nyanza, and Coast being the top 3 regions. It has not changed that much in 2026. We still have Central at 46, Nyanza at 44, and Rift also at 43. The top counties by region, we have Kilifi, Mombasa, and Taita Taveta. Those are the top 3 in trade and tourism. In Northeastern, we have Garissa, Mandera, and Wajir. Then in Eastern, number 1 is Tharaka Nithi, followed by Makueni, and then Embu. And in Central, we have Murang'a, Kiambu, and Kirinyaga. Then in Rift Valley, we have the top 3 counties, that's Trans Nzoia, Elgeyo Marakwet, and Uasin Gishu. In Western, we have Bungoma, we have Kakamega, and Vihiga. And then in Nyanza, the top counties are Kisii, Homa Bay, and Kisumu. Did nimeongea? I'm trying to expedite as much as possible. Thanks. So under housing, lands, and settlement, we had 2 indicators. Rating the county government in facilitating issuance of title deeds to county residents with ease, with efficiency, the transparency, and then ensuring urban areas in the county are well planned. Those were the only 2 KPIs there. Murang'a was number 1, followed by Kiambu. Then we had a tie for Uasin Gishu and Homa Bay at number 3. Then we had a tie between Kajiado, Makueni, Elgeyo Marakwet, Tharaka Nithi, and Trans Nzoia, making the top 5 at number 5 with 47%. Can clap it with. And then when we look at the top 25, we then have number 10, we have Kisii, Embu, Nyeri with 46. Then we have Kirinyaga, we have Kericho at 45. Then we have Nyandarua, Kisumu, Taita Taveta, Nandi, Samburu at number 15. And then it jumps to number 20, where we have Machakos, Narok, Nakuru, West Pokot, Kitui, Bungoma, and Migori at 42%, 43% respectively. The most improved counties are Kajiado, Nyandarua, Garissa, Kericho, and Meru, who gained between 24 and 10 points. I have really jumped on mine. Where are we now? Housing. I'm using a different computer.
Slide number 53.
They're just moving with me. I went to the very end. I think we are now near the tail end of the functions. Is the next one environment or water? What's the next function?
Water.
Water. So under water, we have 4 KPIs. How would you rate your county government in giving you access to clean and safe water whenever you need it? How would you rate your county government in the construction, management of sewer systems in your towns? How would you rate your county government in preparedness for fires, accidents, floods, and other calamities? Are your county governments constructing and maintaining drainage systems for rain water? And how would you gauge that? And how would you gauge your county government in proper garbage collection, management, and disposal? That is what we have under water management. Number 1 county, Murang'a, with 55, followed by Kiambu, followed by Kisii at number 3 with 50, Kirinyaga at number 4, tying with Nyeri at 49%. Who are the other counties that did well in this particular function? We see that we have after number 6, we have Makueni, Tharaka Nithi, Trans Nzoia, Trans Nzoia at 48, and that is number 6. Then number 9, we have Elgeyo Marakwet, Homa Bay, Uasin Gishu, Kisumu, Embu and Machakos at number 9 to number 14. We have Nakuru, Nyandarua, Taita Taveta as well, with a mean index of 44. That is followed by number 18, because we have a huge tie. And there we have Bungoma, we have Kwale, Migori, Nairobi City, Nandi, and West Pokot in water management with 43%, followed by Garissa, Kakamega, Kilifi, Kitui, and Meru, respectively. The top most improved counties are Nandi, we have Garissa, we have Nyandarua, we have Kericho, we have Meru, who have moved between 21 and 12 rank. Which region was pleased with water 2020 vis-a-vis 2026? We see that in 2020, Nairobi had the best mean, which was 49, followed by Western with 49 as well. So those were the top 2. That changed in 2023. We have Central at 52, then Rift at 49 times in Nyanza. And again, we see in 2024 it is Central, followed by Nyanza, and then Western with 44. And right now we have significant, difference. Central has the highest satisfaction with water management. That is at 50. It is followed at 44% mean index by Nyanza, and then 43 by Nairobi and Rift Valley. The top counties by region are as follows. We have the coast for water management and sanitation management. We have Taita Taveta at number 1. Number 2 is Kwale, and number 3 is Kilifi. In northeastern, it's Garissa, followed by Wajir and Mandera. And then in eastern, we have a tie between Makueni and Tharaka Nithi at 48%. And then we have Embu at 45. Then in central, we have Murang'a, we have Kiambu at number 2, and then Kirinyaga and Nyeri tie at number 3. Rift Valley, we have Trans Nzoia, we have Elgeyo Marakwet and Uasin Gishu tying at number 2. Then in western, it is Bungoma that is top, and then Kakamega is number 2, and Vihiga is number 3. In Nyanza, it is Kisii with 50, Homa Bay with 47, Kisumu with 46. In environment, if we move to environment, we have 2 indicators. How would you rate the county government in protecting and conserving natural resources such as forests and water towers? And how would you rate your county government in involving residents in conservation of the environment through tree planting and gabion building, etc.? Number 1 in environment is Trans Nzoia with 55%. Trans Nzoia, are you here? Yes. And then you have a tie with Murang'a, 55%. Then we have Makueni at 54, and tying with Kiambu, and tying also with Tharaka Nithi. Those are the top 5. We can't count for them. They are well ahead of the mean index, which we see there at 49. And the top 25 counties are there. We can see that after Tharaka Nithi, we have Elgeyo Marakwet, we have Homa Bay, and Uasin Gishu at number 6. Then we have at number 9, Kakamega, Kirinyaga, Nyeri, Taita Taveta. And then we have at number 13, Kericho, Kisii, Kisumu, Kwale, and Nandi. And then Bungoma, Embu, Kilifi, and Vihiga at number 18, followed by Machakos, Nakuru, Narok at number 22, and number 25 is Lamu in environment and natural resources with 48%. The most improved counties are Kakamega, Taita Taveta, Mombasa, Nyamira, Busia, Kajiado, and Kwale in this particular function. You can see how they have moved within the ranks between 2024 and 2026. The best county in this environmental function, or at least the county that was given the best region, that was given the best index, was Western in 2020 with 53, followed by Eastern. And then that didn't change in 2023. We still had Western at 52, tying with Rift Valley. and 51 for Nyanza closely following them. Then in 2024, it shifted. Central got the best rating with 49, followed by Rift Valley with 48, and Nyanza at 46, Western at 45. And this year, we still have Central with 52 as the mean index for the region. Then we have Western with 50, Nyanza at 49, and Coast at 49, and Rift Valley at 48. The top counties in environment of the coast are Taita Taveta, Kwale, and Kilifi. Those are the top three. Then in northeastern, it's Garissa, Wajir, and Mandera. In eastern, we have Makueni, tying with Tharaka Nithi at 54. Then we have Embu. And in central, we have Murang'a, we have Kiambu, and Kirinyaga. In Rift Valley, we see that it's Trans Nzoia at top, followed by Elgeyo Marakwet and Uasin Gishu. Whilst in western, the top county in environment is Kakamega, and then we have Bungoma and Vihiga tying. And in Nyanza, the top county in environment is Homa Bay with 53, Kisii with 51 tying with Kisumu. The county governments are also in charge of culture and sports. And here we rate in terms of KPI, how you establish recreational parks, beaches, and the facilities that are relevant to the county. In promoting sports through building of stadia and county sports activities, and promoting county cultural activities and facilities. And the last KPI there is establishing and maintaining county museums and libraries for the residents to use. So we rate all those indicators. The first one there is Murang'a with top county is Murang'a with 51, followed by Kisii and Homa Bay, tying at number 2 with 49. Then we have Kisumu, Kiambu, and Kwale, and Tharaka Nithi, and Lamu, all in the top 5. I think we can clap for that. We can also see there the top 25. I'll give you an opportunity as I catch a breath to allow you to see whether your county is in the, or the county is represented in the top 25. Chances are your county is represented. And the most improved counties in culture and sports were Kakamega, Taita Taveta. We have Mombasa, big improvement, Nyamira, Busia, Kajiado, and Kwale. Culture and sports by region, in 2020, it was still Western, followed by Nairobi. It didn't change. In 2023, Western still had the highest, mean index, tying with Rift Valley and close to Nyanza at 51. Then in 2024, it was Nyanza with 46, tying with Central, and then Western with 44. And then in 2026, it is now Central tying with Nyanza and with Coast at 45 as a mean index. The top 3 counties in culture and sports are Kwale and Lamu in number 1 position. They tie with 47. And then Mombasa is number 2. And then in northeastern, we see Garissa at number 1, and then a tie between Mandera and Wajir. And then in eastern, the top county in culture and sports is Tharaka Nithi with 44, followed by Embu and Machakos and Makueni who tie at 44. And then central is the top county in this function. Murang'a is the top county in this function in central, followed by Kiambu and Kirinyaga. Rift Valley is number 1. What am I saying? Trans Nzoia is number 1. Trans Nzoia is number 1 in Rift Valley with 46, tying with Uasin Gishu. And then at number 3, we have Elgeyo Marakwet, tying with Kericho at 45. Western, kwa hii function, ni Bungoma with 44, Kakamega with 43, number 3 is Vihiga. And then Nyanza, we have seen that you're already the top 5. So Homa Bay is number 1 with 49, tying with Kisii, and then Kisumu is number 3 with 48. What is under social services? How would you rate your county government on a scale of 1 to 10 in dealing with women empowerment, whether it be through entrepreneurship, through leadership, through cooperatives, empowering activities for people living with disabilities, care and financial support for the elderly, youth empowerment activities to ease unemployment, and support for households with orphans and vulnerable children. Those are the indicators that we have there. Muranga, you were top with 52. Homa Bay, you're number 2 with 50. Elgeyo Marakwet and Makueni tied at number 3 with Trans Nzoia at number 3 with 49%. And then we have at number 6, Kiambu, Kisii, Samburu. At number 9, we have Kisumu, Kwale, Tharaka Nithi, and Uasin Gishu with 47%. Machakos, Taita Taveta, and West Pokot were number 13. Then we have Embu, Kericho, Kilifi, Mombasa, Nandi at number 16 with 45. And Kakamega, Kitui, Migori with 44 at number 21. Baringo, Kirinyaga, Lamu, and Nyeri at number 24 with 43% respectively. The most improved counties in social services ni Nandi, ni Machakos, Embu, Kajiado, and Tharaka Nithi. And we've moved between 12 and 13, 23 and 13, sports respectively. Which region? 2020 ilikuwa ni Western na 52. It was Coast number 2 with 49. It changed in 2023. The county that was happiest with social services was Rift Valley, tying with Eastern and Western at 49. Then we had Central and Nyanza tying at 48. And then in 2024, we have Central again, here with 49, Rift with 48, Nyanza with 46, and Eastern with 43. So a bit of a shift. And in this particular year, we still see that Central got accrued the highest mean with 45, followed by Nyanza with 44, tying with Rift Valley and with Coast. The top counties in social services, at the Coast, number 1 is Kwale with 47, number 2 is Taita Taveta with 46, number 3 is Kilifi, tying with Mombasa at 45. In Northeastern, we have Garissa, number 1, Mandera and Wajir are number 2 with 38% respectively. In Eastern, we have Makueni at number 1, number 2 is Tharaka Nithi, number 3 is Machakos. And then Central, we have Muranga, number 1 with 52, number 2 is Kiambu with 48, number 3 is Kirinyaga times Nyeri at 43. Rift Valley, we have Elgeyo Marakwet, we have Trans Nzoia at number 1. And then number 3 is Samburu. In Western, it is Kakamega with the top, followed by Bungoma and Vihiga. And then in Nyanza, it is Homa Bay that is topping in social services with 50, followed by Kisii at 48 and Kisumu at 47. Now, the function that consolidates everything, the planning function. And here we ask 2 things. How would you rate your county government in developing county plans that reflect the needs and desires of you as county residents? And secondly, how would you rate the county government in educating and involving residents in preparing CID, the county integrated development, the plans generally? We just call them plans there because we don't want to make it for the residents. Number 1, Muranga. 2, Kiambu. 3, Makueni. 3, Homa Bay. 3, Trans Nzoia. 3, Elgeyo Marakwet. That consists of the top 5 counties. You can clap for them. They're all above the 43 mean index. And then we can also see the other counties that are in the top 25, apart from the ones we have seen. Kisii, Kisumu are at number 7. Tharaka Nithi, Uasin Gishu are at number 9. Bungoma, Kericho, Kwale, Nandi, Taita Taveta, West Pokot are at number 11. And then Mombasa and Samburu at number 17. Then we have a lot of counties at number 19, tying with a 43 mean index. That is Baringo, Embu, Kilifi, Kirinyaga, Kitui, Lamu, Machakos, Migori, Nakuru, Narok, and Nyeri. Those make up the top 25 counties. The most improved counties in 2026 were Nandi, Kericho, Embu, Machakos, and Tharaka Nithi. And you can see the improvements that have been made there. Which county regions were very happy with county planning? In 2020, Western was giving an accrued index of 49, followed by 46 for Rift Valley. In 2023, it changed. Western moved to position 5. Rift Valley was now top, followed by Nyanza. In 2024, it was Nyanza that topped, followed by Central. And currently, it's just a switch. Central is top, and Nyanza is number 2 in terms of regions that residents are happy with planning. The top counties in planning: Kwale, Taita Taveta, number 1 at the coast, followed by Mombasa. Northeastern, we have Garissa, Mandera, and Wajir tied. In Eastern, we have almost all the counties. Makueni is number 1, Tharaka Nithi is number 2, and then there's a tie between Embu, Kitui, and Machakos for number 3 at 43%. And in Central, it is Murang'a with 53, Kiambu with 49, Kirinyaga has tied with Nyeri at 43. And then Rift Valley, the top 3 counties, there's a tie between number 1, between Elgeyo Marakwet and Trans Nzoia, and then number 3, Kingishu. Western, we have Bungoma, we have Vihiga, and we have Kakamega. And then in Nyanza, we have Homa Bay, we have Kisii, and Kisumu tying at number 2. Mine is coming to the end. So is yours?
Yes.
We are at the end of the index, but there are a few other things that we'll show you. What was the index in 2015? So we see a trend. The overall index in 2015 was almost 55%. And you've seen, we've taken the time to show you how we've broken down this index across all the 33 indicators and the functions that we read out. Then it moved down to 47.5. Then it moved to 44.1 in 2022. Then it went up to 49.3 in 2023. Ikaenda chini tena to 43.2 in 2024. And currently it's gone up slightly to 44% in 2026. I think it's instructive that in the first tenure, there was so much optimism that most of the county government was being given the benefit of doubt. And as things began to settle, we saw that respondents, who are your county residents, became more discerning, more critical in their analysis of the county government. We've looked at all those functions. So who are the overall top 25 counties? Number 1 county, the second time, is Murang'a County with 54%. Number 2 county with 52% consolidated or overall index is Kiambu County. Number 3 is Trans Nzoia with 50%. Number 4 is a tie between Elgeyo Marakwet and Homa Bay at 49%. And Uasin Gishu. These are zote number 4. So number 8 then is Makueni with 48. Tharaka Nithi is also number 8 with 48. Alafu we move to Kericho, Kisumu, and Nyeri at number 10. Those are the top 10 counties. We clap for them. Then move to Embu, Kirinyaga, number 13 with Kwale, and Nandi, Taita Taveta, and West Pokot with 46%. We then have Bungoma, Kilifi, Mombasa, Samburu at number 19 with 45%. And we have Lamu, Machakos, Migori, Nakuru, and Narok at number 23 with 44%. Those are our top 25 performing counties as of 2026. And we can see that, yes, it's granular. Some of the differences in the index is very small, but indeed, this is what we are, we have to do when we are dealing with an index. If we look at the consolidated, just go to the consolidated index by region, we see that in 2020, Western counties got the highest mean, followed by Nairobi at 49. Then we had Eastern at 48. Then that is 2020. Then 2023, it can change. We saw Rift Valley with 53 consolidated index, followed by Central and Nyanza tying at 51%. Western was at 50%. Eastern was at 49. Coast at 47. Nairobi and Northeastern at 46. In 2024, we have Central at 47. Then we have Nyanza region with 43, that is consolidated for all the counties within Nyanza. Then we have 44 for Western. We have 43, a tie for Rift Valley and Coast. And then we have 41% for Eastern. Nairobi is 40%, and Northeastern is at 38%. If we look at this particular year, then Central is at 48% for all the counties in Central, consolidated overall performance, followed by Rift Valley at 45, tying with Nyanza at 45. Then we have Coast at 44. Then we have Eastern at 43, tying with Western, and Nairobi at 42, and Northeastern a consolidated index of 39. That gives us the overall mean index that we had seen at the very beginning of 44%. Overall, who are the top counties, top 3 counties? Now we've looked at all these functions, the 14, the 33, and we consolidated the index. Kwale is number 1 in Coast, tying with Taita Taveta at 46. And then Kilifi and Mombasa are number 3 with 45% respectively. We can clap for them. Northeastern, we have Garissa at 42, Mandera and Wajir at 38 respectively. In Eastern, Tharaka Nithi is the top performer, tying with Makueni at 48. And then we have Embu at 46. In Central, we have the top county as Murang'a. Number 2 is Kiambu with 52. Number 3 is Nyeri. In Rift Valley, it's Trans Nzoia with 50. And then there's a tie between Elgeyo Marakwet and Uasin Gishu. And then in Western, the top performing county is Bungoma. And Kakamega and Vihiga tied number 2 with 43% respectively. In Nyanza, the top performing county is Homa Bay, tying with Kisii at 49, and then we have Kisumu at 47. Then we now share the top governors, is it? Is that the next slide?
Mm.
See, now we've seen how the county governments are run by the leadership, some of whom are seated here, the esteemed governors seated here. In 2015, those were the top governors. We had Lusaka, Honorable His Excellency Lusaka, 61. Then we had Moses Akaranga, and you can, if you remember, the index for Western was also very high. Do you recall? Mm-hmm. So maybe there's an intersection between leadership and how the county performed. Number 3 was, or number 1 tie there was Dr. Alfred Mutua. Then in 2020 we had Wycliffe Oparanya, number 1. Number 2 was Salim Buria. Number 2 was a tie between Buria and Kivuta Kebwana. Then we had West Pokot, Lonyangapo, Professor. Then Mandago was also number 4. Then Professor Nyongo was number 4. Then we had Bungoma, Machakos, we had Alfred Mutua, Elgeyo Marakwet, Nakericho, they were there. We had a lot of professors here, Nama doctors, PhDs, Nanini. And then we also had Dr. Mudomi Ju. Whether education is a function of good performance. That's the question that you can posit. I don't know. But we see the top there in 2020. Were you there in 2023? Now it's re-election time. So in 2023, we had Uasin Gishu and Elgeyo Marakwet. That's Jonathan B. and Wesley Rotich. Then we had number 3 was Honorable George Natambea, His Excellency, you're His Excellency, and Her Excellency, John Natembea. Then number 4, we had Dr. Eric Kipkoech Mutai. Number 5, ilikuwa ni Stephen Sang. Alafu Professor Hilary Bachok, West Pokot, Simon Kachapin, Matuta Mwamejapa. 2 terms. But we also see 1 term. We see Dr. Edward Mutai. I don't know which term. You are, Dr. Embu, we have Cecily Barire. Then we also had in the top, we have His Excellency Gladys Atieno Nyasuna Wanga. You see how Kevin has put all your names, he's giving you a prop. We have Dr. We have Honorable Paul Simbarati, Susan Kihika, and we also had Anne Waiguru and Benjamin Cheboi and Cecily Barire. A lot of, do you see something that I'm seeing? Women-led counties are represented. Then we look at 2024, we move, Dr. Kangata akasema hapana, me number 13 staki. Akajump is now number 1 in 2024. And there was a lady also just smelling. We see Gladys there, number 2 with 51. And then Trans Nzoia was number 3, tying with Kirinyaga and Waiguru at number 3. Then Dr. Mutai Kahiga was number 5, with tying with Paul Arati, Simba Arati, and Professor Nyomo. Then number 8, we had a tie between Jonathan B., Wesley Rotich, Mutula Kilonzo Jr., Kenneth Lusaka, and Dr. Paul Kimani Wamataa. Alafu, number 13, we had His Excellency Isa Abdallah Timami of Lamu, and His Excellency Gideon Ongaro. That is what we had as top. Now, see, we've shown you top 25 counties everywhere. And how many women-led counties do we have? How many? There are 6. You know there are 6. There were 7, but now there are 6. How many of these women-led counties are in the top 25? 2. Huh? 24. This is now. This is today. I've left that thing of that. Top 25 women-led counties. Where are you? There. No wonder you are confused. When you need a leakage. How many of there are 6 women-led counties. How many of them are in the top 25?
All of them.
That's what you are. A casual causal effect, a very casual one. Those of you have seen many doctor here. So that causal, can we say that perhaps we can infer, could we infer that women may make for good administrators? I don't know.
Not me.
That
Shan.
which
Shan, not me.
the numbers are here. Number 4, overall, number 13, number 13, number 13, number 23, number 23. Hawataki kujua. Well done. For those who have had experience, sometimes it is said that if you're a 2-term, unachoka. Hauna time, umeboeka, unaangalia cabinet, tumeona some of your colleagues, wako kwa cabinet, national government, Governor Mugoki, you said there are 48, but there are 47 matter, but many of you are eyeing. They are eyeing that 48th one. So, are the 2nd-term governors working? Are you people working? It seems you're not joking. Because the second term governors, pretty much all are in the top 25. Might it also say something about experience?
Yeah.
Being a good teacher? But it doesn't mean that you are now lethargic. We are also seeing that repeat governors, those who came, left, and came back, are also in the top 25. It's still experience. We have Lamu here, and we also have Bungoma. We also have the issue of frontier counties, and we've always been told that frontier counties have experienced so much, there's marginalization, it is difficult to get things done, but successively we have seen specific counties appear in the top 25. In particular, in this year, 2026, and you see it in the report, that there are counties that have appeared in the top 25 before. We see Samburu and West Pokot in our top 25 index. Can we clap for them? So now we can quickly see other functions that I think Governor Mudomi had mentioned, very important to devolution. One of them is public participation. Have you been involved? Kevin, is the question. Have you ever been involved in a public participation exercise? Has your ever called you in for a public participation exercise? This is a yes or no. That's why we couldn't include it in the overall index, because it's not an index. It was actually included as an index question that is looked at in the planning. Under planning, we had it. But here it's just to ask, have you ever been invited to a public participation meeting or forum? Sasa ni hivi. Munaona tu. Elgeyo Marakwet, 51% said yes. Makueni, 48% said yes. Baringo, 46. West Pokot, 45. Migori, 42. Those were the top 5. Those are the top 25 counties with regards to public participation. And you see some of the top performers, you're performing well, but you're not inviting your people for public participation. You don't need, it depends on. We turn up, it depends on whether you give us tea. So I think we've seen that. I think I'll move because of time to the next function. What is the next function? Preventing corruption
in the county, yes. Preventing corruption.
Preventing corruption. How would you rate your county government in dealing with corruption and ensuring that all the taps are sealed? No pilferage. We see that Kisii and Murang'a got a score of 44. It's not a very high mean, but it is the highest comparatively, followed by Trans Nzoia, Makueni at number 4 and 5 respectively, and they tied with Kiambu. Homa Bay, you are at number 7 with 39, tied with West Pokot, and Garissa, Kisumu are at number 9, making that the top 10. And then we have those other counties that were also mentioned in that particular function. Next. Who is managing or is felt by their residents to be managing their money well, the public funds well? Number 1, Murang'a, 47%. You don't want to clap for Murang'a. Kisii, 44%. We clap for him. Kiambu, 43%. Trans Nzoia, 42%. Elgeyo Marakwet is number 5, tying with Homa Bay, Makueni at 41%. Let's clap for them. And then we have number 8 is West Pokot with 40%. Kericho is number 9 with 39%, tying with Kisumu, and then Tharaka Nithi and Uasin Gishu are really top 10. We can see with 38% there. And then we have also other counties that have mentioned, including Mombasa, Nairobi, Narok, Nyandarua, and Taita Taveta. Use of technology, digitization. Number one county in digitality and the use of technology in service delivery is Murang'a with 51%. Number two is Kiambu with 49, Kisii and Kisumu tie with 48, and then and Trans Nzoia number 3, and then number 6 is Homa Bay, number 7 is Makueni, Tharaka Nithi, and Uasin Gishu, and then number 10 we have a tie between Elgeyo Marakwet, Kericho, Machakos, Taita Taveta. And the last one that we also looked at is bringing services, accessibility, bringing services closer to the people. How would you rate your county government in ensuring that services are brought closer to you? Number 1 was Kiambu with 51%. 2 is Murang'a, tying with Trans Nzoia at 50. Then we have Kisumu at number 4 with 49, and Homa Bay tying with Makueni at number 5 with 48%. We also have number 7, Kisii, Elgeyo Marakwet, and Kwale, and Taita Taveta 47. And number 11, we have Tharaka Nithi, Uasin Gishu. We have number 13, Kericho, Kilifi, Machakos, Mombasa, and Nyeri. And then number 18, those who are bringing services closer to the people, we have Bungoma, Embu, Kirinyaga, Lamu, Nakuru, and then finally we have Migori, Nandi, and West Pokot. Dealing with drugs and drug abuse and pornography. You know that is a function for devolution. Did you know? Huh?
Yes.
The governors know, but do the rest of us know? How would you rate your county government in making it difficult, not that giving you a report, making it difficult for people to access hard drugs and pornography? I don't know, Governor, what is hard drugs? Alcohol is Chana? Hiyo ni sawa. Hiyo ni sawa. Yes. And pornography. So here, Gladys, you don't want your people watching pornography and you don't want them taking hard drugs. The rating was very high. You're number 2 with 46, only, by Elgeyo Marakwet. You tied with Kisii. Alafu there was number 4, Garissa, Makueni, na Tharaka Nithi. You also don't want those things in your county. Wacha niangalie kama wengine wako hapa. Nyeri sikuoni, lakini najua you're fighting it. Lamu, I know you're fighting it. But we also have Trans Nzoia, we have Embu, Uasin Gishu, Bomet, Kiambu, Kwale, Migori, Narok, Wajir, all in the top 25, alongside Baringo, Bungoma, Kitui, Machakos, and Samburu. We've looked at how you have performed as counties. We've looked at the peripheral but very critical functions. We have also looked at how the county governments performed before. Those were governments, not governors. Now we're going to look at you as people. Do you want us to ask how have you performed as governors? This is where the sample was very big, because we boosted that sample to ensure that we could do it up till the ward level for MCAs. Although MCA samples were kidogo small, so we didn't rate them as individual MCAs as such. But we could, that's what made it possible for us to do it for the members of parliament. And what are the factors that people consider when rating you as a leader? Your delivery on campaign promises is number 1. Your transparency and accountability is number 2 at 35%. Your initiation of development projects is number 3, trying with influence of allocation and use of funds, whether it is CDF or county funds. It doesn't matter how you're dealing with funds. Are you accessible? Ama unaweka ile thing that governor was saying, the Niger governors use. And then how do you compare in terms of performance with past leaders? That brings us to the top 5 things that they think of. However, they also think of, how you're portrayed in the media. So communication is very important, and your visibility. Are you communicating with them? Do they know what you're doing? And also, how do you engage in public fora and town halls with your constituents? That is the public participation. The top performing governors as individuals are there.
Next.
They're there.
Next.
There, move with me. Yeah. So we have number 1 at 80%. That is the score you were given on a scale of 1 to 10. How would you rate the performance, therefore, after you've told us the factors that are important? How would you rate the performance of your governor? And Muranga was given a score of 8 out of 10. So 80. That was followed by Trans Nzoia. The county residents gave him a score of 7.6 out of 10, which is 76. Kiambu, Honorable Wamatangi, was given a score of 71. And then number 4, Honorable Gladys Wanga, was given a score of 66 by her residents, making her a 4th and the only woman in the top 10. And then we have Makweni, Mutula Kilonzo was also number 4. And then we have number 6, we have Wesley Rotich, Honorable Anyang Nyongo, and West Pokot Governor Simon Kachapeli. Then number 9 is Honorable Simbarati of Kisii, Samburu Governor Jonathan Lelit. Those were rated as, having 63% in terms of their own individual performance. You can see that these performance indices are much higher than what we have seen for counties. Then number 12, we have Honorable Mubeki Njuki with 60. We have Narok, Honorable Patrick Ntutu. And then number 13, we have Anne Waiguru with 58. Taita Taveta Governor is number 14. Then we also have Kitui at number 15, Julius Malombe with 56. Mohammed Aidan Khalif of Mandera with 56. Honorable Dr. Mutai Kahiga with 56 from Nyeri. Wasingishu, Honorable Jonathan B is number 15 as well. And then we have number 19. There was a tie between Cecily Mbarire of Embu, Kilifi Governor Gideon Mungaru, Ochilo Ayako of Migori, Turkana Governor Jeremiah Lomurukai, and Wajir Governor Honorable Ede Ahmed Abdullahi. They tied at number 19 with 55, as was given by the county residents. Number 24 is Honorable Abdul Samad Nasir of Mombasa, Machakos is Wavinya Ndeti, and Garissa's Nazif Jama. Those were the top 25 governors in this particular year, as rated by the county governors. I think we can give them up. I think I will now move to the final slide that I have, and that is the best performing MCAs consolidated. Because remember, I said the samples were kidogo small, so we had to consolidate their performance to give you an indication, so you can see whether your county MCAs are here. It is not the county assembly as is put there. I'd ask Kevin to change that. The question is consolidating the county MCAs consolidated, not the assembly. So the top, and so if we look at all the county MCAs in Elgeyo Marakwet, their mean rating came as the highest at 52, followed by Makweni, which tied with Baringo at 51, and Muranga. And then Embu was number 5 with Nyandarua at 50. And we have Wasingishu, we have Kisii and Nandi and Kitui at number 7 with 49%. And finally, we had West Pokot and Turkana tying at number 11 with 48%. I don't know whether your MCAs are here, but this is their rating. So it can be yes, it can be no. That, ladies and gentlemen, brings me to the end of this presentation. I hope that it has been insightful. Jovin, if you give me one of those booklets, I just will talk about the top 10 findings. Just this booklet here. We are going to give you this booklet, which consolidates everything that I have discussed today. But in this booklet, it is one thing. We talked about the 10 things that we felt that the index is saying. Number one, and those are the top 10 findings. One is that Kenyans continue to express strong confidence in devolution. 75% is the number to remember. Second is Murang'a has set a national benchmark for county performance, second year in a row. And we can see that, we recognize that. Third is that we can also see that county performance is becoming competitive. It is not the same across all regions or counties within regions. It varies, and we can see that the regional differences are also there consolidated. Fourth, we see that institutional excellence is increasingly broad-based. It's based broadly, not broad. Not broad-based the way we're not political. So, we can see that there are different counties. There is no single development model that guarantees success. When we talk to the different counties, there are different models that they were using. Education is number 5 as a finding. It receives the highest citizen rating among the devolved functions. Whilst we see that health remains a function where citizens expect more delivery. High-performing counties is number 6, deliver across all functions. You can't be a high-performing county and you're only delivering in one function. You have seen that there were those who are not even appearing in the top 5, but when we look at the consolidated, you now see them in the top performing counties because they have been delivering consistently across the board. Number 7 is that women-led counties continue to perform strongly. Although women govern only 6 of Kenya's 47 counties, all 6 women-led counties rank within the national top 25. And Homa Bay sits at the national top 10, evidence that strong performance is being achieved across diverse leadership concepts. I have to say this as a woman because it's not easy for women. So please clap for the women. I think what is also important is number 8, frontier counties continue to demonstrate measurable progress. West Pokot ranks joint 13th nationally and joint 2nd in health. Samburu enters at top 20 with 19th position. Garissa has been most improved. You saw that in many of the functions, including health. Just consolidating that just because it is a frontier county does not mean it does not perform. Leadership and institutional performance are closely related, but not identical. All these governors here have different leadership styles, but I'm hoping that one of the things that they all enshrine is either what the leadership experts call transformational or is it transformative leadership style. And then finally, this is our own finding. I said it before. Judy, I hope you're listening. CountyTrak has become Kenya's premier benchmarking tool for devolution. Clap for CountyTrak. The 2026 index is a large index, and you can see that it has got a diverse and rich amount of information. Everything that you need is actually in this book. Everything that I've said, you will find in this booklet that will be shared with you. I thank you very much for listening to me, for being patient. I know it was a long presentation, and you have been a really good audience. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much, Angela. Please we can encourage her with another happy clap. Before we start with the awards, and we will also give the governors present a minute or so as an acceptance speech, we want to invite two partners. We'll take only 2 minutes each. And in this order, we will have Philip Kisia, Honorable Philip Kisia, Judy Odima of GIZ, Oduma of GIZ, then Africa CEO, Gladwell Otieno. Please, 2 minutes each. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, Your Excellencies. I'm sure you were given a cup of tea again. So I have 2 minutes and I want to summarize my comments as follows to you great Kenyans. Number one is to bring greetings from my family and Kenyans, and of course, the Europeans where you are currently located. These, and then of course to thank CountyTrak led by Angela for organizing this event. Now, there's something that Governor Njuki said that caught my attention, that what is important in the service delivery is ensuring that your citizens or residents are happy. The happy index should be the measure of your success. So if your residents are not happy, then you're not doing well, because residents don't eat buildings, residents don't eat roads, residents should be happy. That's a confirmation that you're doing well. There's also something that was mentioned here that I thought caught my eye, again by Governor Njuki and Angela. They tried to draw a similarity between Kenya and Nigeria. I think I'm not far from the truth, but there's one area we can compete with Nigeria is corruption. I think that is something that we probably skipped or avoided talking about. Now, performance is about rewards, and I'm happy that that is what we are doing. We're appreciating those who are here today. But again, those who fail should be sanctioned, because you can't just reward and fail to sanction those who have not done well. When you look at the results that have been read out today, our performance at the county range between 40 and 60%. So whether that can take this great nation to Singapore, I leave it to you. In my own estimation, a performance of between 40 and 60% can only lead you to Singapore. And since you Kenyans are not Singaporeans, you know what to do next year. Now, in my closing remarks, Kenya has a shared vision 2030. There's an attempt, of course, to roll out the next cycle of vision 2060, which is perfectly in order. But as that is being done, for this country to move forward, the vision must be shared. The counties must grow from the national vision. You cannot keep on introducing different visions. You come in as a leader to implement the vision that has been crafted and agreed by the Kenyan people. That will ensure whether you are one-term governor or two-term governor. But I must say, whether you are one-term governor or two-term governor, what is important is that you'll be returned to society where you belong. You'll be met by Kenyans who you've served. Your family will be waiting for you. Your wife will be waiting for you. Your children will be waiting for you. Governor Tim is here. Governor Duke is here. Governor Kaiga is here. Your grandchildren will be waiting for you. So if you've done well, they will receive you very well. If you've done poorly and you've stolen public funds, they will not receive you kindly. In closing, let me say this. We are 1 year to elections. 1 year, I think, and 3 days to elections. Kenyans, be on the lookout. Elect leaders who will utilize your resources, hard-earned resources, prudently. Avoid leaders who have a bad track record, who have misused public funds, who are known to be corrupt. And I can assure you, let me assure you, as I stand here, and you know where I belong, we are ready. And the welcome as we take over the new government will be to transfer those people who have stolen public resources to Community Express maximum. And for the ladies, if there are some who are here and also there who have served public and they have failed to utilize public resources prudently, you will be boarding Langata Express. Having said that, Your Excellency, I thank you, and I end with this remark. Politicians and diapers must be changed often. And for the same reason, that is a quotation by Mike Twain. But let me say that I have spoken, and I'm quoting I am ending. I have said, and I want to quote my late father-in-law, and may God rest his soul in eternal peace, Honorable Elijah Wasike Mwangat, who said, I have spoken. And even if you have not heard, I have spoken. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Philip Kisia. May I welcome Madam Judy Oduma, who is speaking on behalf of development partners. GIZ works a lot with our counties and they support devolution. And that's why Madam Judy is here to make her remarks. Welcome. Please, a round of applause to encourage them.
Excellency Governor's present, our MCs who are here, my colleagues, development partners, the council, and I'm alumni of Council of Governors, proudly. I worked with the governor first time, and now it's second time. So good to have you here. And of course, members of the full state, my colleagues from GIZ, and all others present. I think for me, two things stand out. But maybe before I say that, or I speak to two issues, quite exciting to be here. Because I have walked the journey since the local authorities. When you're talking about the councils, the local councils. And of course, at the inception of devolution, I was lucky to join the Council of Governors as the director of programs. So the strengthening and the institutions, memories and establishment of the council, especially on programming, we did that together with especially the first round of governance. I have gone the full circle because I think after that, of course, with a very short stint in Liberia, West Africa, supporting Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's the centralization program, and then coming back at the County Assembly's forum as a CEO, and now back as the development partner co-chair together with UNDP. I must say, this is a worthy course that you are running. Although this is my first attending this one. So to my 2 points, one, I think basically the governor we don't need to mention it clearly. When you speak about devolved functions, I think we need to relook at that because we still have so many that have been devolved but just on paper. So practically, we still have a small gap to complete, and maybe that is something to try to infuse in the next report or in the next survey. Number two, about service delivery, and you spoke about this being measured, and who are the ones who measure this. It is those who actually benefit from the services. And they normally say what is measured is not. Here I would like to say what is not measured is then not what doing. So let's allow and continuously encourage citizens to continuously give us this feedback. GIZ runs the Strengthening Good Governance Program, where I'm the team leader, and I have my colleagues also sitting here. And I know one of the components that we are supporting the Department of Devolution is actually undertaking a citizens perception survey. And I think for us, we would like to see to it that we partner or we bring it together so that we can have something even more solid as we provide this kind of support. But also, we would like to look out for you. And I think you've mentioned that more than twice here, so that we can be able to partner and see how do we co-create the next perception, the evolution perception survey. So we are looking forward to having InfoTrak report so that we can see what else do we need to do. We did not see so much talking about, I don't know how we can couch that, the role of the civil society organizations, but also the role of the Intergovernmental Relations Technical Committee, especially in ensuring that all the arms of government, the national and the counties work together. But also from there, how do you bring on board issues to do with the contributions to the work that the county governments are doing, especially through strengthening and empowering the citizens to be able to make us duty bearers to a country. Apart from that, I think I would like to say thank you for the invitation. GIZ, the Germans, co-chair the Devolution Donor Working Group. We support 15 counties, and of course about 19 national partners in strengthening good governance in Kenya. We are hoping that we'll be able to expand to all the other counties in due course. But if we have COG in place, I am sure we can also be able to disseminate and replicate some of the good work we have seen happening in the 15 counties that you're working in. Thank you very much. And see you next time. Thank you very much.
Madam Gladwell, she's still in the room? Yes, please. 2 minutes, then we get the counties ready. We want to give you your awards. And these awards are not paid for, they are free of charge.
Books. Good.
Well, it's a total ambush. I was thinking I could just sit and listen and consume without producing anything, but it seems I'll have to sing for. Are you going to buy me one?
Yes.
So I'm Gladwell Otieno, the Executive Director of Africa Center for Open Governance, Africa for short. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to express my unformed thoughts. But certainly we want to thank InfoTrak for what looks like an extremely rich survey. You interviewed in all the counties. I've seen numbers of like 5,000, etc. So that's these are actually very this should be a very rich source of information. You've gone through all the various county functions. You looked at the performance on the various county functions. I think this is an extremely valuable source for all of us. We'll be reading it with interest. We'll be looking at your methodology with real interest so that we can understand how to interpret these results. So we want to congratulate InfoTrak on this I want to say the thing that struck me the most is the continuing support for devolution amongst the Kenyan people. And my primary focus is the Kenyan people, as is yours, and I think should be all of ours. Yeah, it's very interesting. You named very high levels of support for devolution in the 80s, I think it was, and above, which is really you can't do better than that. Vladimir Putin would be happy with results like that. That's not a very good comparison. But so the support for devolution is there. But the performance, the actual performance, leaves a lot to be desired. We have to be honest with ourselves. We're moving below par. So even as we look at who is perceived to be particularly good and who is perceived to perform particularly well, we have to remember we are way below par in our performance on devolution. And there are many reasons for this. Despite the support of the people, and you've heard the numbers of what people were saying, the difference that devolution made to their lives. Yeah, you all heard it in terms of all the different services which should be provided by the both governments. Despite people having noticed a huge difference in their lives, and many have